welcome back to Salonka, and we're going to carry on where we left off. Basically, that's how I do these kind of things, because there were quite a few new people watching the last video. So, yep, we're just going to carry on. My plan for today is to try and sort out the beginnings of a yard. I said last time that this actually gave us a pretty good position to start doing something with cows, and I've realised that's maybe not the way to go. Predominantly because to do anything with dairy, we would need to put in one of the rather expensive cow barns, and it's going to be a while before we can afford to do that. So yeah, what we're going to do instead, and Stephen, you stole my idea, is we are going to put in a sheep pen. So that lets us do sheep and goats in the same enclosure. So we'll start getting wool and goat milk. I'm just trying to sort of loosely organise the bales at the moment. We'll stack them properly once we have a shed. Yeah, and I think that's a bit more sensible. They can graze on the meadow that will be in the pasture and actually get nutritional benefit from it. Bit of a spoiler from some stuff that I've learnt doing a bunch of testing today for a couple of videos that are going to come out once the game releases. So if you're not a regular, I've been working on the Can You Make Money series. So can you make money from beef cows or dairy cows? I'm doing all of the data collection for those, and I've added a few bits to the first one of those. So yep, but I think getting some sheep and maybe some goats would not be a bad idea. I've not looked yet to see, that wasn't particularly neat, to see how profitable sheep and goats are, but I figure they should be somewhat profitable. So we'll go with that. I want to put in some storage space for the kit that we have, because again, that would be good. And then hopefully we can keep some grass. That then means we don't need to worry so much about a bale wrapper, because we'll be feeding them hay. We don't need to worry about straw. We didn't need to worry about straw anyway, because we're going to have a pasture. But yeah, we can then, I think, look to see what we can do to expand with the money we have left, and what work we can pick up to earn some cash to expand further. Yeah, so that's roughly the plan. And then once we tick over to September, it comes after August, we'll get into playing on 2-day months initially. If we need more time, I'll add months, and we'll then get to running on the ×10 clock speed as well, just to give the game a little bit of pace. So still getting bales, getting a little bit stuck, but anywho. So a few things that I've been working on whilst not really playing the game much today. Well, actually it was yesterday. Yesterday I was working on getting fixed crop prices sorted. So again, if you're new, I am the creator of that mod, where I was for FS22, planning to be for FS25. So yeah, got a version of that working, but tried to do some things that were a little bit cleverer and need to go back and unwind the cleverness a little bit. But working on that, and as I said, working on preparing data for some videos on how profitable things like beef cattle and dairy cattle are. So let's have a look in build mode. No. Shift P. It is Shift. No, Control P. Okay. I know what I'm doing. Honest. So I think. Well, let's look. Cows. First thing we should do. First thing you should always do. Save the game. Come on. Save the game, please. And turn off autosave. Just in case you do something wrong. And we'll go back in. Sheep pasture. I want to make a relatively big sheep pasture. We're going to toggle snapping on so it lines up with the field. By default it'll hold 19, so if we make it a bit bigger it should hold more. Yes please. And then we'll see what it's going to cost us to toggle snapping on, please. There we go. So I want to make this basically this whole back section of the field. It'd be really nice if you could turn on grid lines. That looks about right. Being square. Yeah. There we go. Creation. No. Why didn't that link up? Delete last segment. H. That should be good. Go. No. Okay. E. Cancel. No, I don't want to cancel custom creation. This is only like I haven't done very much of this. So, is it not hooked in? It's hooked into that one. It's not. Ah. No. H. Right. Let's try again. See, this system is a little bit temperamental, I guess. It really doesn't want. The last segment, place segment, toggle snapping, zoom, E for next menu. Escape, cancel creation. No. No. Right, what I did is I placed one close to it and then I've done another shorter fence. Yes, we're going to plant meadow in there. There we go. So we've got our sheep pasture. We're then going to do a little bit of painting concrete. Yeah, concrete's probably good, isn't it? We want to make a little yard area. Let's think sheds. So this is the silo that I want to put in. Although we've got a 20 grand silo. No, that fits better probably. So we've got that cheap silo. Sheds. Sheds. No, I don't really like that. 15 grand. No. 27. No, it doesn't like it's got a lot of space in it. 8 grand. No. Bear with me a moment, folks. And that's 25 grand. What's the back of it look like? That seems a bit wasteful. I really think that we're going to go for something like that. If we put that kind of there, just thinking silos, constructibles, containers, tools, sheds, silos. One is eventually we're going to want something like that. We can always expand the yard, can't we? So it doesn't have to be a complete construction. So sculpting, painting, concrete. Let's come across here like that will do. We do an area like that. I know it's going to bug me. I hate getting square edges. There we go. Right, sheds. So I think, I spotted this shed really early on. I think that's what we're going to go for. So, and I'm not going to let it terraform, so we want free mode. We might need to do a little bit of landscaping. Or we let it landscape. Let's let it landscape. What's the worst that could happen, eh? It's only doing a tiny bit. Let's drive up and have a quick look at what it's done. Yeah, that's not awful, is it? It's not awful. There's a little bit of a bump there. And we've lost part of that track. Okay. Let's see, that's pretty horrendous. It's pretty ugly. Let's see if we can deal with that a little bit. You stop. Sculpting. Smooth. That's what we're going to want. Yeah, that's helped. That's helped a little bit. Tighten that up. Just try and increase the strength. It's probably costing us a freaking fortune. No, because it's not doing anything. Okay. And then, can we just do anything with that? Not really. That's a little bit better. Okay. That's a little bit better. What else are we really going to need? We could do with some sort of small bale store. And, that's big. And that would have done all of our storage needs, wouldn't it? Oh. If I open it up and look inside, how much are we actually going to store in here? That'll take all our kit. That'll take all our kit. Probably. Hopefully. Let's try. Drop the weight off the back and see what we can do. We are going to need a water tank as well. So that is something I need to bear in mind. and potentially a water point unless we can drive to one. I was kind of hoping one of you would have told me where there was one on the map previously. No one did. So we'll have to go exploring. This is a very small little shed compared to the lizard shed, but it looks a bit more interesting. Let's see. So for those of you that are new, I crash a lot. I'm not the best driver in the world. But we try. We try. Yeah, so I was kind of surprised. I think I was whinging in the last video about how... Well, not really whinging, just explaining that the videos were getting kind of normal numbers of views, and then I woke up this morning and the first episode of this series had 4,000 views, which is insane. So yeah, that was kind of a surprise. So, right, let's tuck this in the shed. Yeah. Sorry, can't talk and reverse. Regulars will have flashbacks to the video where I spent rather a long time reversing the dolly trailer into a shed. There we go. So we should get the kit we own at the moment in the shed, but we might struggle to get much more in. I guess we might have to just help the kit that I knocked over stand up. So I really don't want to have to reset it back to the store, and we don't have super strength yet, so this takes me back to playing when I first started playing FS19. I didn't know about things like super strength. You know, when you very first discover the game and you don't really know what mods are and that mods exist. Like now, where mods don't exist really. So, you know. Let's see if we can get the bale tine under the arm of the mower. I think we're going to have to reset it. Going to be quicker in the long run, isn't it? Reset. Yes, that's interesting that you can. Could you do that in 22? Someone's going to tell me you could do that in 22. That you can reset stuff from, you can sell stuff from the map. I don't remember that being a feature of 22, but anyway, I'm going to go grab these from the store and I'll be back. Right, that's these grabbed. We'll get them in the shed. And then I think we'll start the process of getting some sheeps. I mean, I meant to have crossed over before there, didn't I? Oh well. There is a kind of point here. It's not awful. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So, let's see. Ooh, she's a bit unbalanced with all this weight on it, but, you know, we are carrying rather a lot. Okay, this is going to be fun. Let's disconnect that. Okay. No. Hit all the buttons, shall we? Okay. No, it was already lowered. Okay. We're going to see if we can hook this into the shed. Let's think. We're going to do this. If you're shouting at your phone, TV screen, monitor in frustration, then I apologise. It's the evening time here, and well, it's probably only about 45 minutes before I'm going to pack it in for the day and get some sleep. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. And regulars will tell you I'm just a bad driver, and they might not be wrong. Nope. Nope. Everyone just look away for a moment, okay? Yeah. That's not going to work, is it? Everyone keep looking away for a moment. Fine. It goes in the shed absolutely perfectly. So clearly we need to think about a different shed pretty soon. But for now, it's going to be okay. Because we don't have anywhere that we can put bales, for example. Because this was the wrong choice of shed. Whilst it looks good, it is inadequate for our storage needs. And getting that out's going to be a freaking nightmare. But for now, it's forgotten about. Right. If I was to... Didn't you see how many sheep can we put in here? 39. So we would be paying £1,700 in transport fees, or transport costs lease. So that was 1275 versus. So it's cheaper for us to get them delivered. So that's what we're going to do. Right. Unless I go older ones. Older ones are a little bit more, but time, cost. But we're going to do a mix. We're going to do a mix of. These guys look a bit more interesting. So 39, half of 39 is what? 19. We're going to do 19 of those. Yes. And we're going to do... Oh, they're older and more expensive. We're going to do 20 goats. So that will give us a mixture of goat milk and wool. We won't be able to have any young animals, but that's fine. The other thing I'm wondering now is, can we get water? I'm guessing because this is a giant's map, we can get water out of water places. So if we go down to the shop, I'm going to see if we can just back into the lake. And now, because I don't want to be doing a bajillion trips, I think we're going to get the bigger tank. I'm assuming that they will graze when the hour passes and take meadow. If not, we'll give them hay if we need to. Yeah, we do need a better shed. I swear I closed that door. We'll look at that when we get back. We'll look at that when we get back. So at the store, grabbing the water tanker. And then if I look on the map, sorry, I was browsing contracts on the way. If we go down the main road, there is a pond. So we'll see if we can pull water out of there for free. Because free is better. Obviously, when you're broke, free is good. And the less we have to spend on stuff like A, somewhere to get water from, and B, buying the water, because water is not necessarily cheap in the game, then that's good. That's actually, and it's not quite a flooded road, but yay. Brilliant. Free water. We like free water. Now let's spin that around. Get this delivered to the, I was going to say sheeps, but sheeps and goats. And then I think there's two things we could do. We could look at fertilizing the grass, but it's going to take a little while to grow. Or we could look at some contracting work. And given that there are some crops which wither at the end of August, I think we should see if we could grab some harvesting contracts. That probably means I need to throw in the silo. But that's no big problem, because we plan to do that anyway. I should maybe have crossed there. Yep. So, well, to get this delivered, keep an eye on the cows, the sheep and goats eating. And see if we can make a little bit of money from doing some contracts. There we go. Excellent. So let's have a look. Harvesting. We've got canola, canola, oats, canola, oats. And I think, yeah, all of those go soon. So if I was to go into here, grab my silo. If I'm going to put it there, it's going to do horrid things, isn't it? That's pretty much where I want to put it, actually. You know what we should maybe do is put it there. So maybe what I should do is landscaping. Flatten an area first. And then we can maybe make it look okay. B. Not gonna work. Push that back into there a little bit. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's okay. And then we can just do a little bit of terraforming here in the form of smoothing, probably in the way, but just try and smooth all of that down. Awesome stuff. So let's switch our tractor off. Now, some of you probably already know this. It's interesting that the lease cost seems to be fixed and some of the contract rewards are less than the lease cost. We're going to take the biggest contract. We're going to borrow the items. Yes. We're then going to take that contract. Yes. The 34 is up there. No. That's an even bigger combine. We've got 33. So if we take 33, the 34 must be near it. Yep. That's also canola. So if we take that contract as well, and get ourselves set up, I'm going to test if we can harvest field 34 with the equipment from field 33. Some of you probably know the answer to this already. Also going to be a bit lazy and not put the header on the trailer because we're going to quite quickly go off onto the farm tracks. This seems to be quite a common combine for contracting work on this map. This is the second time I've had this combine for contracting work on this map. And so before you say, why have I bothered putting the silo down? The first time I did a contract in this game, in FS25, I got about 10% spare. So I'm assuming I'm going to get a little bit spare, and we want to keep that so that we can sell it when the best price happens. I'm hoping that, like in previous versions of FS, we can use contracting kit from one contract to do another. And we can. Excellent. So let's set up GPS. It forces at least one headland. Interesting. No. H. Steering assist. Okay. H. B. Back up. H. Not too far away. I'm next to it. Right. So this is going to pay us if we do these. Did I really take 4 contracts? I did. Okay. What other harvesting contracts are there? 7 is right near us as well and is also canola. So let's accept that. You can only have 3 contracts. We should cancel the contract on 64 in that case. Cancel, yes. Okay. Let's keep an eye on what we're doing. And we're going to take the contract on field 7. It also pays quite well. Yes. So they're all in a nice cluster. I didn't check where they all delivered to. Hopefully they all deliver relatively close to each other. But this is going to be a nice payday. So if we have a look, active, so farmers market, farmers market, farmers market. Awesome. And that's going to pay us out. What's that? 8. Call it 10 grand. So we're going to get back a reasonable amount of money that we've spent out. The bit that I need to make sure is that I don't do the contract on field 7 first. Not field 7, field 33. And what I might do is, so little little trick for anyone that's a bit new to the Farming Simulator series. Might deliver all of the grain to the silo first, and then get all of the fields combined, and then deliver it to the sell point. That way, we won't have any issues with contracts completing prematurely. So, that's my plan. That should work. That should net us some cash. That should allow us to make some progress. There's a lot of shoulds in there. We'll see how it all goes. Hopefully, everything will work out okay. I've not done a lot of contracts yet in game, but we're going to need to. So, yeah, if I'd spotted this one first, we would have probably taken this one because this had the bigger kit for the same cost. So, I'm wondering if the contract system might get a bit of a review, because some of them seem a bit dodgy. You know, it's like, I've not tried one yet, but there are some contracts that I've seen where the lease cost for the kit is more than the value of the contract. And that seems wrong from a gameplay point of view. And they seem to have done a lot of work to stop people not quite gaming the contract system, but using the contract system to progress very rapidly. But at least, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to get some fields combined and I'll be back in a little while. Making solid progress on this first contract. Brought over the tractor and trailer, and it's got a combine full of canola in it. I really like this Fendt combine. It's I think it's a hillside combine, and although we're not on the most extreme of hills, you can actually see it working. So the rear axle is pretty heavily articulated, and you can see as the combine goes up and down hills, it jacks itself up and down, which is pretty cool. Come on, pick up. There we go. So you'll see as we go up the slope along here, slowly the gap between the back of the combine and the axle increases. And yeah, I just think this is quite cool. It's a real thing. So it's not like groundbreakingly done by giants, but the implementation is pretty good. And yeah, I just thought it was quite cool. So I thought I'd show you, give you a bit of an update. I'm kind of wishing that I'd taken the bigger combine, to be honest, because this is going to take me a little while. It's going to take me longer than I had hoped to get a video recorded this evening, but it is what it is. There we go. You can see it in full effect now as we get on the steep part of the field. I think that's pretty cool. Simple things, eh? Simple things. So it's looking like we're going to get a good amount of canola off of this field. This is the bigger field. That bodes well for getting some sort of excess, which is good, because that's going to increase the profitability of the contracts. And what I'll do is if I don't check in occasionally as we go through, we'll have a look at the end how much canola we've harvested, because it's the only crop we've harvested, and how much we get to keep, because I'll try and tip it very slowly. So yeah, and if I've completely cleared all of the fields, we shouldn't deliver any excess. That's the other benefit of sticking it in a silo before you deliver it. I'm teaching some of you to suck eggs, I know, a good British phrase for you, English phrase, however you want to think about it. I'm teaching some of you the real basics, put it that way. Should be able to see our farm from here. Yep, there we can. Which is good because it means we're close to going to deliver to our silo. Drop that down, hit the button. Oh, nicely done, sir. Yeah. So the idea is that you don't end up delivering any excess. That's the theory. Almost finished field 7. Not so much off of this field. So I emptied the combine before I started, and we've not filled the combine yet. Interestingly, there is a farm attached to this field. Now, I didn't play on Zalonka when it released in 22. I don't know if the farm was here then, but it's very much set up like the starter farm that you start with. So you've got the same shed with a chicken coop, farmhouse, shed for storing vehicles, and silo. I wonder if, I don't know, I didn't play this map in 22, that's why I'm playing it now. Whether Giants have added some farms so that the map is more multiplayer friendly. But that's quite interesting, I thought. It's one of the things I love about doing contracts. You get to explore the map a little bit and see things that you wouldn't necessarily see if you didn't. I would be pretty much focused around my little plot of land over there. I have slowed down the clock a little bit. I did say I wasn't going to be altering the clock, but the theory is the game doesn't get that dark. But I didn't want to end up trying to record the end of the video in the dark. So that's why I've done it. Before you get all, you said you weren't going to slow the clock down. I know. But I needed to, for content creation rules. Basically, once we've finished these 3 contracts, we'll skip into September. And that'll be in the next videos. So. And probably then we will think about fertilising the grass field and maybe picking up some more land of our own. See what's out there. Really going to be looking for stuff that's going to be cheap to work. Because really can't afford to be buying expensive machinery. So, yeah. Let's run down to the I'm glad that one still works. Really miss VCA for the cruise control options. What we'll do is we'll crash into that little tree, but I'm hoping there's a crossing point there. There is not, but hey, it'll be okay. We're going to jump in the tractor, unload the combine, go, probably not going to be able to empty it, unload the whole combine, go tip all of this in the silo. In fact, we could finish these 2 contracts off, but we won't. We'll do what we said we were going to do. Trying to keep an eye on the time. Time is something that I am short of this evening. Great. So yeah, we'll get this lot tipped. I want to get stuck again without VCA. I miss. Expect I will miss diff locks and things unless Giants have got that nailed in this version of the game. We'll see. I guess. We will see. We'll also see how this silo is going to work. And our animals have not grazed. Interesting. Might need to grow. So we might want to chuck in some hay bales. The door's shut now. Might be one I need to stick a picture. I might need to share that one with Giants. Seems like there is something wrong with the distance texture on that shed. I'm sure it's something they can sort. Anyway, one more field to go. And then we can claim these contracts and see how much excess we're going to get. If we're going to get any excess. And how much cash we make. So I'll see you then. Into the last field, making decent progress and seeing a reasonable amount of ground deformation in this field, more so than the other ones. I'll get rid of the map because you can see it in the previous rows that I've done. Definitely feels like it's more obvious than the previous ones. You can see my slightly wonky row that I did there. Because it didn't seem like it was lining up with GPS, and now it seems like it will. It's just a little bit embarrassing. You weren't supposed to see that. But the ground deformation looked so good that I thought I'd show it off. I've just seen a comment on the first video that made me smile. About I thought you could only inherit uncle, granddad, whatever's farm this weekend, and sadly none of my relatives were farmers, so we've had to start from scratch. But that did make me chuckle. Yes, so we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting a decent amount of canola off of this field as well, so I am optimistic in terms of having some excess. That is entirely dependent on really how the amounts that we need to deliver are set, not the amount that we get off the field. Well, they are, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to keep combining because you can probably hear one of my dogs snoring away, and that might be a bit annoying. So we'll be back when I'm done. We are very close to being done. We have 3 rows to go. I know, that almost rhymed, didn't it? I'm so good at this. I'm so good at this. We will then find out if we're actually going to get any excess canola having done 3 contracts. Now, the benefit of having done 3 is the margin of error is much higher. I did not check, actually, which I probably should have done, the fertilization state of each of the 3 fields. Rookie mistake on my part, but, you know, it's going to give us some sort of indication on, are we going to get some excess. Now, I'm sure some of you have watched others that have done specific videos on the contracting system. I've not done that yet. I'm probably not going to do one specifically on the contracting system. It's something that I'll just experience as I play. Maybe. The problem with it is there's so many different types of contracts now that by the time I get to it, I think people will have done enough of them. Maybe not. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe they'll still do one. But at the moment, my focus is on the animal videos and collating the data for those. And it's pretty time consuming. And as I've said, and you may not have heard me say it because you might have missed me say it in the few places that I've said it. I'm preparing the videos. I'm not going to release them until the game goes live because I'm expecting there will be an update. What I don't want to do is for Giants to change stuff when the game goes live and them to be wrong. So I'm going to prepare them and then do some sanity checks on the release day and then set them live. That's my plan. I've got data done for 2. Might get another one, or probably another one, maybe done tomorrow. And then that might slow down a bit. And I didn't do those videos in 22 until well into the game being out because it didn't occur to me to do them until much later. But yeah, doing them right at the start, so hopefully people will benefit from them for longer, but we'll try and get them done. I might have done the first few early on, because the first one was affected by the fact that they changed chickens right at the start, which is why I'm nervous about releasing them pre-release. So we have 17,000. Let's just, I am going to do the math. 17,000 litres, and then in the silo we have 18,500. So we've got not quite 2 trailers full. And we need to head down to the market. So I need to turn around. But before we do that, we're going to do a quick bit of maths of how much we have in total. So just loading up my calculator. 18,500 plus 17,143. So we've got 35,643 litres. Get the map back up. Let's cut down here. And yeah, there's no point me putting any more in the trailer because it's going to be 2 trailer loads or whatever. So we basically need to head back towards the store and then cut down behind the store. Here we are. Looks like there's a line buy point up here as well, which is going to be worth remembering. So first load going in. This will complete some contracts probably. I expect. So we'll see that as we dump things. Hoping it's not going to go against field 33 first. No, we're okay so far. Yeah. So now we need it to go against field 34, which it is. So yeah, what I should have done, I guess, is combine field 33 last. But we are in fact okay. So yeah. Let's get that delivered. There we go. So we need to go get the rest of it now and see how much spare we have. On our way back to the sell point. So I was having a bit of a panic there about if it would deliver against the wrong contract, because for some reason I had in my head that as soon as we finished the contract, the kit would vanish. That's not what's happening with contracts at the moment. What's happening is as soon as you finish working a contract, it stops you using the, you can't do, let's say you're doing a cultivating contract, you can't cultivate 100% of the field. It stops you when you've finished cultivating it, what's required. So we're fine. Because I had a moment thinking, I'm going to deliver it all and then it's going to steal the excess. And we don't want that. What we're going to do is switch to grain door. Not the green door, the grain door. So we deliver more slowly now. So that I can try and stop this at exactly the point we are complete. So that we can maximize how much we hopefully get to keep. Hopefully we get to keep some. That would be very nice, Giants, if you let us keep some from contract still. And then we can work out the percentage. So almost. I'm going to do button tapping now to try and get to the point where we are done. Right. So we delivered a little bit too much, but that's not quite 10%. So if I do, so in this case, it was 9.7% that we got to keep. Plus we delivered a little bit. So not quite 10% that so you'd have to deliver about 90% on a contract to complete, which I can't remember what it was for FS22. And to be honest, I've played with better contracts for so long that that might change it. But that's not awful, I don't think. So 3,500 litres of canola is going to be worth... I'll get on a bit where I can quickly check the pricing list. Canola's got a best price of 1,300. So as we make our way back to the farm, times 1,300, so that's an extra 4.5 grand on top of the contracts that we've done. So we do need to drive back to the farm because I need to deliver this back into the silo. And if we go into the contracts page now, yeah, I think we're looking at about £14,500 profit. Oh, it's just got darker. It was a very dramatic light change. To the point it made me think something had happened to my computer, but the moon's out. I guess the sun's gone down. It's quite early, it's only 7 p.m. Right, here we go, and then I'll call it a day because I need to go to sleep in the real world. It did give the goats and the sheep some feed at one point as well, so their health could start improving. So collect, yes. Collect, yes. Collect, yes. So if we go into the finances tab now, so yeah, so it did take it out of that. So we made 9,600, and then what did I say? It was 4 grand. So we're looking at about 14 grand from that. Half a month's worth of contracting. It's not bad. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Decent little bit of progress today. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. And oh, we've got our first goat's milk. And anyway, I will see you all next time.